Some athletes play for the love of the game. Some play for the glory. But every once in a while, someone comes along who plays for something bigger. Someone who changes the game forever. For basketball, that person was and still is Michael Jordan. This is the story of a boy who was told he wasn't good enough, who turned failure into fuel, who became a global icon, a champion, a symbol of relentless drive. This is Michael Jordan's story. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born on February 17, 1963, in Brooklyn, New York. Parents, James and Dolores Jordan, worked hard to give their kids a better life. When Michael was still a toddler, the family packed up and moved to Wilmington, North Carolina, a quieter place, far from the rush of the city. Michael was the fourth of 5 kids, and in the Jordan household, competition was a daily sport. Whether it was shooting hoops in the backyard, racing bikes, or even playing cards, winning mattered. And young Michael, he hated losing, absolutely hated it. Michael walks into Laney High School basketball tryouts with dreams of wearing the varsity jersey. But when the list went up, his name wasn't there. Cut. The coaches told him he wasn't tall enough, not skilled enough, not ready. For many kids, that's the end of the dream. For Michael, it was the spark. He cried that night, but the next morning he was back on the court. Before school, after school, hours and hours every day. He worked on his shot, his speed, his jumps, obsessed with proving everyone wrong. The next year, he didn't just make the team, he became the star. By the time Michael was a senior, colleges were lining up to recruit him. But one coach stood out, Dean Smith, from the University of North Carolina. Smith wasn't just offering a spot on the team, he was offering mentorship, discipline, and the chance to play under one of the greatest systems in college basketball. Michael accepted. In 1982, as a freshman, he hit the shot, the game winner in the NCAA championship against Georgetown. One moment, and the world began to notice his name. In 1984, the Chicago Bulls drafted Michael Jordan with the 3rd overall pick. Right away, it was clear. This wasn't just another rookie. He had speed, power, elegance, and an attitude that said, "I'm here to take over." In his first season, he averaged over 28 points per game and became an instant fan favorite. Chicago hadn't seen excitement like this in years. The city had a new hero. Then came the nickname, Air Jordan. Why? Because when Michael jumped, it didn't look human. It looked like he was flying. And with his partnership with Nike, the Air Jordan sneakers were born, changing sports marketing forever. People weren't just watching him, they were wearing him. Greatness isn't a straight road. In the mid-'80s, Jordan's Bulls kept running into one giant roadblock, the Detroit Pistons, known as the Bad Boys. They were rough, physical, and they had a rule: stop Jordan at all costs. Season after season, Detroit sent Chicago home. It was frustrating, painful. But Michael didn't complain. He trained harder, got stronger, and learned to outthink his opponents. By 1991, the Bulls finally broke through. They crushed the Pistons and went on to win their first NBA championship. 1991, 1992, 1993. 3 championships in a row. Jordan was unstoppable, winning MVPs, setting records, and becoming the face of basketball world. But then, tragedy struck. In 1993, Michael's father, James Jordan, was murdered. The loss shattered him. Basketball suddenly didn't matter. So Michael did the unthinkable. He retired from the NBA and tried something completely different.
baseball. It was his father's dream for him. And while critics mocked him, Michael didn't care. It wasn't about proving anything. It was about honoring his dad. March 18th, 1995. Two words appeared in a press release that shook the sports world. "I'm back." Michael returned to the Bulls, and the NBA had its king again. The very next year, he led Chicago to another championship. In fact, from 1996 to 1998, the Bulls won 3 more titles, completing the second three-peat of Jordan's career. June 14th, 1998. Game 6 of the NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz. Chicago is down by 1. Michael dribbles, fakes, steps back, and hits the jumper. It's the last shot he would ever take in a Bulls uniform, and it sealed his 6th championship. Michael retired again in 1999, came back briefly with the Washington Wizards, and finally stepped away for good in 2003. Today, he's more than just a retired athlete. He's a businessman, an NBA team owner, and a symbol of determination and excellence. Michael Jordan's story isn't just about basketball. It's about what's possible when you refuse to accept limits. From being cut in high school to becoming the greatest of all time, he showed the world that failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. Because legends aren't born, they're built.